go ahead and type that into the comments. So how much money by what date? So Doug, good on 10K per month, but not good enough. 10K per month is what you want, but by what date? Right? What date are you going to make $10,000 by for the first time? Right? Really, I realize you want it to be recurring. Yes. But when are you going to make 10K the first time? When's that going to happen? This is a full commitment. Like what, how much, when are you going to do it by? Right? And by May 15th, 2026. Awesome. I love it. I love it. 10 million in the next 10 years. By 2036, says Carrie. Great. That's a long-term goal. Carrie, I would definitely pull it back. Great long-term goal. I bring something back a little bit more within a year or less, right? So you have something you can focus on today. Great long-term goal. 500K by December 31st, says Christy. 3K by March 31st. Daryl says 10K monthly recurring revenue by 1022. Awesome. 10K by March 31st and 1 million by the 30th of November. 20K per month by September 1st. $10,000 a month by June 30th. Awesome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So one of the most important things is to set a clear target, right? Is to set a clear target. And setting a clear target on the exact number that you want to do. And if you're not writing this down, you are literally missing out on a huge portion of the value of this session. You're going to use what you write down, what you type into the chat right now, you're going to use later in order to have a more effective group wealth hypnosis session today. So don't disengage. Don't go all introverted. You're here for a reason. You're here for an hour and 15 minutes. Make it count. Be fully present. Get off, whatever social media you're on. Close all your other tabs. Get into the Zoom call and let us know in the comments how much money you want to make by when. Okay. Now, for those of you who know what you're going to trade for it, I'm very curious. And many entrepreneurs and business owners, you probably have some idea. And everybody else, what are you going to trade for that? Right? Meaning, what are you going to sell? Literally, if you're going to make that much money between now and then, what are you going to sell in order to make that happen? And if you don't know, say, I don't know, right? But if you do know, what are you going to trade for the money? What's the exchange that you're going to give? Literally, what are you going to sell? And so I would love to hear what your intentions are around this. Right. And if you have absolutely no idea, you need help figuring that out or whatever, please be clear, but I just want to have an idea of where everybody's at. Life coaching, real estate, awesome. I don't know what I could sell, says Craig. Also, you could sell haggis. You're in Scotland, right? So Craig, time to figure out what to sell, right? What are you gonna? I mean, most of us sell our time in a job or in a one-man, one-woman show business. Well, as a contractor or any type of paid laborer, whether you're selling your time in your mind, whether you're selling your skills, whether you're selling your just physical manual labor, nutrition products. And Craig, you could sell some of the things that people are listing right here, right? Pay-per-call ads on Facebook. All right, Neil, fair enough. Remote sales not determined yet, says Doug. All right. Doug, do you have some leads? Do you have some ideas? I will trade futures and Forex for my financial goals. Yes, Rahesh. AI implementation audit that gives clarity around the opportunities and the path to take starting now. Awesome, says Daryl. Great. Natural dental products. Beautiful, says Zachary. 15,000 a month by May 15th. Life coach. Awesome, Tony. Cool. I really get it. And if you have questions as we go, I encourage you to ask. So what we're doing here is I am going to answer some common questions about hypnosis just to get everybody on the same page. So I've been a hypnotist for 26 years, and back in the day, I started working for Positive Changes Hypnosis. My hypnosis trainer and teacher owned a Positive Changes Hypnosis clinic, which was a weight loss clinic. So I started working with weight loss, worked with a lot of weight loss clients for a couple of years, working for her, became her top hypnotist, and then went out on my own. And then when I went out on my own, I worked with people for all sorts of issues. But I had this one guy who actually was a weight loss client, and he was coming in and he was making great progress, right? So I work with a lot of one-on-one clients these days as well, mostly over Zoom, though I do have a local office. And This guy was a weight loss client. He was eating really well. He was exercising every day. He was drinking a gallon of water a day. The pounds were just shedding off him, right? He was getting in really good shape. He had a ton of energy. He was feeling good. He was on top of the world. And he had been coming in for a few months every 2 weeks. And well, we started out every week for a long time, and then we shifted to every 2 weeks. And then I said, I don't know what I'm going to hypnotize you for next because you're making such amazing progress. I think I've used all my techniques. And he laughed and he said, could you hypnotize me to sell more cars? And I said, I probably could. So next session he came in, I hypnotized him to sell more cars. And he went back to the dealership and he immediately that week became the number one auto salesman on that car dealership. And he came back and reported in and it was amazing. I mean, a single session skyrocketed his ability to sell. We worked on his ability to connect with people. We worked on his ability to listen, to be very present, to have a good memory, to really pay attention to what the customer wanted rather than pushing what he wanted. And he became very charismatic, very connected. His sales just went through the roof. And I realized that I had hypnotized this guy to make more money, but I realized I hypnotized him to make more money than I was making. And that's where I was just like, oh, well, I could use this on myself. And so shortly thereafter, I went on to make my first $1 million online, trying to break free from my local economy and learned about leverage and list building and all these types of things.